Mr. Greg here from the Kindergarten Smorgasbord. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm super excited to talk to you about my teacher binder. So I've used a teacher binder for a couple of years to help keep me organized. Organization is not one of my strong points, but having this teacher binder has definitely helped. What prompted me to do tonight's live about my teacher binder was I recently was at Target, and as we all know, it's that time. The school supplies are out in force. They've been out since June, I think we've all noticed. So as I was browsing through the Target school supplies, and apparently you can get these at Walmart, I came across this. That's right, y'all. It is a legit Trapper Keeper, right? Like, if you are an 80s kid, you are having all sorts of feelings right now when you see this. So, yes, they have them at Target. They have them at Walmart. They are legit Trapper Keepers, just like we had when we were kids. And so I posted a picture of this on social media the other day, and everybody was like, oh God, what are you doing with that? How are you using it? What are you using it for? So I wanted to kind of share with you the idea behind my teacher binder, what I keep in my teacher binder, how I use it. So this is my new teacher binder. This is my original teacher binder. I've had this Trapper Keeper for several years. I actually got one for me and the Mister on Amazon. We've been in this house 5 years, about 5 years ago. So I've been using this one for 5 years, and it's decorated with my stickers from Laura Kelly. So you can grab the stickers from shoplaurakelly.com. So, like I said, I've been using my teacher binder for several years. And yes, somebody actually asked me, do you really use a Trapper Keeper? Yes, I really do use a Trapper Keeper for my teacher binder. So the idea behind this teacher binder is that it keeps everything that I need as far as like lesson plans, notes, documentation, information. Everything is right here in this binder. It comes home with me every day. It goes to meetings. It goes to lesson, like if I go to team meetings, IEP meetings, any kind of meetings, it goes with me. So everything I need is here. All of my information is here. And so it's all in one place. And so that really helps keep me kind of organized so I know where everything is. So I'm going to kind of walk you through this and talk to you about what's in here. I'm not going to be able to show you everything because I don't want to give away, student privacy stuff. But I'm going to kind of talk to you about how I use it, what's in here. And I'm going to do the best I can to show you this. So first thing you're going to see when you open my binder is my class list. Right, so I've got my roster. I keep my schedule. This is last year's schedule. I'll be posting a new schedule soon. I also keep a printed copy of our district calendar. And again, just for reference information. So I can't tell you how many times I flip this open and look at that list if I need to do something, if I'm filling out paperwork or whatever. Having that list right there, because sometimes like the kids are working and they block the list in the front of the room or whatever. So always having that list in the front of the binder, so helpful. District calendar. Then I also have in here some of my assignments. So like these are my dismissal duties. So I got, all of my team late duty stuff. Another thing that I have in my binder that gets used tremendously is this. This is our dismissal chart. This is our split list. When we had to have assigned seating during COVID protocols, this was our seating chart. So this is a lifesaver, especially at the beginning of the year, especially if I have a substitute, because you can, number one, you can look at it and you can see who the kids are. So they got their names, got their pictures, right? So valuable for so many reasons. The color coding is how the kids go home. So at our school, we have lots and lots of ways of dismissing kids. And so every dismissal is color coded. So I can simply look at this and I can tell who's a blue car rider, who's a red car rider, who's a yellow walker, who's a pink walker. So super, super easy. I keep it in my binder, so I always know where it is. I also have a copy hanging by the door. I have extra copies for all of my teammates. I have extra copies in the room for anybody who needs them. This is also the split list. So I can look at that, and the split list is so if I'm absent or if the kids have to be split up to a different class or whatever, that teacher's name is on there as well. So that is in my binder. Then I also have, and I'm not going to show you these because I don't have permission to show these names, but I also have in here, these are all of the split list from my other kindergarten teammates. So anybody who needs to split their class, those lists are in here as well. So when they provide me with updated split list, I have that right there with me as well. So again, all of that information is there. So that's kind of the first kind of tab, if you will, is all of that information that I use. Then the next tab is my year-long plan. And this is something that we will be putting out soon. So this kind of gives us the year-long plan. And the reason I keep that in here is because when we're doing collaborative planning as a team, when I'm doing schedule on Sunday, I want to have that handy. So I can pull it up and bam, I can see what we have planned for that week. So that's that tab. The next tab are lesson plans. So these are my weekly lesson plans because we do have to have something written. We don't have a template to follow. We don't have a form, but our principal does like for us to have something written down. And so I have my lesson plans, and these, I know Jason is here watching. So he can drop the link in the comments. And so these are just my lesson plans for the week. And those are they're all in here. That's another great thing. If every week they go in here on Sunday, as part of schedule on Sunday, they go in here. So the great thing is if I need to look back and see what we've done, or if I got thrown off on a sight word or whatever, I can go back and look here. Anybody who comes in my room, if they want to see my lesson plans, I can say, hey, they're over there in the binder, so they can check that. Those are the lesson plans. And the next tab is small groups. So I'm going to be a little careful about what I show you here. But the next tab will be where we keep our small group lesson plans. So those would be in there. And welcome to moving houses. These also got, some of it got messed up, but also keep my groups. So these change as I change my center groups. So in here would be the small group lesson plans, which I use the templates from our small group toolkits. We have one for literacy, one for math. So when I fill those out for small groups, those go in here as well. So I always have my lesson plans, my whole group weekly lesson plans, and I keep my small group lesson plans in here as well. And again, everything I need is here. So when I pull a small group, I can just flip right to this. I'm not digging around looking for something, looking for lesson plans or whatever. Everything is here. Same thing with center groups and small groups. I have it all like right here. So I can see who's in what group, what they're working on. And you notice it's literally all nothing fancy. It's a piece of paper and I've written stuff down on these. And it's literacy, and it's got a date up here. So I know when I made those changes. Okay, and so you can see some more of my notes. We also keep in here some data. And so for data, in an assessment, we do use ESGI as our one-on-one assessment, but we also do have some required assessments that we have to do with our curriculums in our district. And so those are paper pencil usually. So those would go in here too. So I keep all of my data in here as well. So when I go to a meeting, an IEP meeting, an ST meeting, whatever, I've got my binder with me. It's got all of that information, all that data right in there, so I can take that with me. So when I need the data, bam, it's right there. I can flip open my binder and be like, okay, we did that assessment, here are the results, right? And so it makes it easy. Also with ESGI, I can take those reports and I can print those reports and stick them in my binder as well. So that's another way that I can keep that information in all together as well. Then the next thing I have, and this is, I definitely cannot show you, but I want to let you know that it's in here. This next tab, you can see these green pages. Those are my student information sheets. And so those are the information sheets with the kids' names, family, address, phone numbers, allergies, all of the information that I would need. The parents fill out at the beginning of the year, right? The families complete those at the beginning of the year. And then this is why they're in here, because I would always take those information sheets that the families completed, and I would paperclip them together, would go drawer, a folder somewhere, and I would need to make a phone call. I would need to call home. I would need to check something. I wouldn't have that information. I'd be digging. So now I keep those information sheets right here in this binder. So anytime I need a phone number, I need to check, an allergy or a medication or whatever, I can grab my binder, and those information sheets are right here in this purple tab. So I know exactly where they are. So again, and also it's a safety issue, right? So if I need to get some medical information or whatever, it's all right there as well. Those information sheets are available on the website. And so we will share the link with you in the comments. Another thing that I keep in here, these actually come with your Trapper Keeper. When you buy it at Target or Walmart, you actually get the actual folders too, y'all. Look at that. Come on now. Look at that. How many of us right now are reliving our kids, our childhood, right? All of that stuff is in there. So it comes with folders. You can also order additional folders on Amazon. So I put a folder in my Trapper Keeper. And in that folder, this is where I kept all of my information for our portfolio. So kindergarten in the state of Tennessee, in our district, we had to do, each year we have to do a portfolio. And so we have to do certain assessments on the kids at the beginning of the year, and again at the end of the year. We submit it, we get scored based on rubrics. And so, again, that stuff, I'm not kidding you, I would lose like the beginning of the year work the kids did. It would get lost. I would stress out. I would have to hunt for it. So now I just keep it all in this folder, which is in my binder. So I know where their beginning of the year artifacts for the portfolio are. I can go back and check them, keep them in one place. Also in there, I keep, try to pull this out. So I've got it, it's all there together. So there are artifacts, the information, so the rubrics that we use for our portfolio is there as well. So that's another organizational piece. Again, less stress. So now I don't worry about that portfolio stuff. Like I don't worry about losing their work and their artifacts. It's all right there. Also, I have to show you, there's a copy of our slime recipe stuck in there because we do that a lot in Mad Science. And so that's stuck in there as well. So that's what's in the binder. I want to show you a few other things that I use as well that stay in the binder. So one of the things we do a lot of when we're planning, especially this year, is we've done a lot of assessing and advancing questions. And so one of our instructional coaches gave us examples of those questions. So that goes in my binder as well, because this binder is with me. So when I'm at planning, this is with me. And so when we're trying to plan with the team, I like to be able to have this in front of me so it can help me with those questions. Also, I have to show you, this just fell out of my binder. one of the drawings that the kids did of me. So you never know what's going to be in the teacher binder. Another thing that I keep in there is this Bloom's question book that I made for my school. We've not shared this anywhere, I don't think, but we will. We'll get this out to y'all. But I keep this in my binder as well because it's got all of the questions, right? And all of the verbs for all the different levels of Bloom's. And so I like to have that. So when I'm, especially when I'm doing team planning and we're trying to come up with questions for the lesson plans and for the templates and all of that, like I like to have this in front of us because it helps us with, you know, what words to use to get all of those higher level questions. Same when I'm doing like my formal lesson plan template for evaluations, I pull this out. And again, I keep it in my binder. It's actually kept in the back. There's a pocket in the back. So it goes in the back. So it's back there. And so again, I always know where I want it or where it is. All right. Something else that I keep in my notebook, or my binder, sorry, is a notebook. 2 years ago, I used these neon legal pads that I got on Amazon. They have pink and green ones. So I used that. This last year, I used just a notebook that I found. I think I got this at Target. And so what I use these for is note-taking and documentation during my small groups. But they sit in the binder. So when this binder is closed, it looks like this, right? It's pretty full. And when I open it, that notebook is in there. And so when I have my binder open to those small group lesson plans, and I've pulled a small group, we're working on phonics, this is where I would be writing my documentation. This is where, you know, I'm jotting down what they're doing, who needs to work on what am I seeing, and that always stays in my binder. So I always have that documentation handy. So like I said, everything that I need, everything that I use is in that binder. All of the information, all of the data, all of my documentation, all of my lesson plans. And so it all kind of goes together. So when people are asking for, you know, because somebody will say, well, how do you know that that group is ready for that skill? I can pull out my notebook. I can pull out the data, and it's all right here. That's the thing. It's all right here in this binder. So I can say, well, here's the data that shows that they're ready. Here's what we've been doing in our small group. So this is why they're ready, or this is why they're not ready, or this is why these two kids are ready, but maybe these other two are going to stay in a different group and work on something different. So that's how I use my teacher binder to stay organized. Also, I ordered these tab dividers on Amazon. And that's what you see in the binder. So you can see those right here. So those are the tabs that I'm using. All right. So that's it. So that is my teacher binder. That's how my teacher binder keeps me organized. I've seen some questions pop up, and I know there are a whole lot of y'all watching, which I love. Thank you for joining. So I'm going to quickly scroll back through and see if I can catch a couple of these questions. Jessica wants to know, does the binder take the place of a teacher planner? Yes, I do not use a teacher planner. I just have my binder and my notebook. I also have, and I didn't grab it, but I also have a separate notebook that I use for notes, like in meetings, and if I'm thinking about something I need to do for my class, where I keep all of my lists. I have that notebook, and it's, again, with my binder. But I don't have a teacher planner because my lesson plans are in here. So my small group plans are in here. Everything is in here. The calendar is in here. So I don't use a teacher planner. Let's see. Angelica, we do have the small group lesson plan templates posted. Jason posted a link, and I know he's watching, so he will be, we'll get him to drop that link again. I'm trying to scroll through and look for questions. If you have a question and I didn't answer it, drop it in the comments. I know some questions came through, and I don't want to miss any. So if you have a question and we don't answer it, just ask it again. Is anyone else sad that the Trapper Keepers no longer have the plastic slide rings to open? Yeah, but I feel like they're still that same Trapper Keeper quality that we all love. How big is the binder ring? Let me see. It's a 1-inch metal ring. So in the Trapper Keeper, it's a 1-inch ring. Scrolling. Oh, there was the question. Your whole year of lesson plans fit in that binder? Yes, because Cindy, we don't have a template. We don't have a required format for our lesson plans. So here are my lesson plans for the week. 2 pages. That's it. And then, of course, my small group lesson plans are in here as well. So everything is in that binder. So yes, they fit. Their other question was, I mentioned, let me find it. I'll show you guys again. I mentioned the split list. And I saw some questions pop up about that. So in my binder is this. This is my dismissal chart. So I know this is for a sub, so we can easily see who goes where. Everybody's color-coded for dismissal. This also has the split list. So what that means is if I'm absent and there's not a substitute to cover my class, my kids are split up into the other 6 kindergarten classes. And so this tells us what class they go to. Maybe if I get pulled out for a meeting and the kids have to split for a little bit, that's what we're talking about. So when the kids have to be sent to different classrooms because of no sub or a meeting or whatever, that's what we're talking about with the split list, and the kids get split. So when they get split, they go to one of the other kindergarten classrooms, and they're all assigned, and so they go to that same classroom anytime they have to be split. All right. Let's see. Looking for any more questions. Do you document the behavior in the binder? I don't document the behavior in the binder because we're required to document any behavior in our online school management software. So I may, if I need to, I might jot a note down to remind myself of something, but I don't keep any behavior documentation in my binder. It all just goes into that software that we're required to do. Jackie, data is collected using ESGI. And so all of the data stays online in ESGI. I can print it if I need to. If they do an artifact like work, and it's something that we keep and collect, I just have each of them have a file in the room, and their work would go in that file. But almost all of our data is kept in ESGI. And when we do have those required assessments that might be paper pencil where there's a checklist, or they actually have to produce a piece of paper, it would go into their file in the room. Is there a template for the dismissal chart? No. All this is, I feel like we should do a whole Facebook Live on this. It's just a PowerPoint, and what I did was I just made tables. So they're just tables and then cells, and each cell is colored. So that's it. So there's no template. It was just a PowerPoint that I made. Heather, so the lesson plans that are free on our website are not editable. Those are my lesson plans for the week. But we do have editable lesson plan templates available, and we've dropped the link in the comments, and we'll continue to drop that link as well. Oh, there's a text. Hold on. How do I purchase the different tabs and organization pages? The tabs, I bought those on Amazon. And then I'm not sure what organization pages they're talking about. Because the only thing everything in here is like stuff that you can get in our store or on our website. What about the paperwork from district, PD, etc.? So most of that is kept in the binder. A lot of it was taken out at the end of the year, but I keep a lot of that. It would all go in this first tab where my schedule is, the district calendar. And a lot of times I don't keep a lot of that stuff because I don't need to. But what I do is I keep those notes right in my notebook. And so those go in here as well. Does your lesson plan include your small group plan as well? No, the small group lessons are a separate lesson plan template, and those are available in our small group toolkit. The notebook, it's usually, honestly, it can go, there's a pouch in the front right here. So a lot of times I'll stick it in there, but it's also sometimes it usually just sits on top. And so my notebook is closed, my binder is closed, and so you can see my notebook is right there on top. Is there a calendar template? I don't have a calendar template because I don't use a calendar template, but I'm sure there are some great ones out there. And well, in fact, I know there are. Do you keep all lesson plans for the year? Yes, all of my lesson plans are here. So that is all of them for the entire year. Every week for the entire school year is there. So I keep all of them in the binder for the year. Parent communication, it's documented through the we use Blooms, in the Blooms app, and then it also goes into our school-based management software. We use Infinite Campus, so behavior, attendance, parent communication, family communication, that all goes into that software. Yeah, all parent communication. Susan says the same thing. All parent communication goes into our school platform. Yes, math and literacy, all small group lesson plans, small group information for math and literacy is in the binder. I think I've got all the questions that I'm seeing. All right. Jason was texting me a couple. I think I answered those. Do we have a template for the year-long plan for sale? We don't. Again, it's just a table. So that's all I did for that is just created a table in PowerPoint, and then I can insert pictures, type in it as well. All right. Mary wants to know if we have a separate notebook for substitutes. Yes. So we have a sub notebook, we have a sub tub, and the way we do it and make it easy is we use our Sub It Up. So I know we're planning for back to school, but y'all go ahead and grab our Sub It Up bundle. It's sub plans for each month. They're low prep. I used them a ton last year. They are a lifesaver, a game changer for making sub plans. So the sub binder and all the sub plans are separate from this notebook. So there is a separate binder. But grab the Sub It Ups. Do you know when you might be posting your year-long plans for the upcoming school year? We're going to be having some planning in a week or so. So once we get through that planning, I'll have an idea of what things are going to look like, and then I will get that year-long plan updated and available. And lots of questions about the Blooms book that I have. This. with our Bloom's questions in here. I will have to find the file from where I made it, and we will get it, and we will share that out to you so you can have access to that. All right. Don't see any questions. Yes, we will also, yes, I will do a blog post about the teacher binder as well. The Trapper Keeper is from Target. Walmart also has them. And originally, when I bought this one 5 years ago, I bought it on Amazon, but I just bought a new one because mine's kind of falling apart. I just bought this one at Target. All right, everyone. I think we got all the questions. So I want to say, again, thank you so much for joining us. If you have any other questions, if we didn't get them answered, drop them in the comments. Hit us up in the messages. We respond to every question, every email, every direct message. So hit us up if you have any other questions. We've dropped a lot of links in the comments, so check those out. We will put together a blog post about this with links and everything as well. So I hope this helps. I know organization is something that we all struggle with. And what I've learned over the past few years is the more organized I can be, the more effective I am as a teacher. And it just takes away some of that stress. And we know anything we can do to lower the stress level is a must. So I hope that seeing how I use my Trapper Keeper teacher binder and keep myself organized, I hope that helps you. I hope that gives you some ideas. Another thing that is make sure that you register for our upcoming free webinar on ABC Bootcamp and the Science of Reading. So in this webinar, I'm going to talk to you about how ABC Bootcamp was built from day one on the Science of Reading, how it's aligned to the Science of Reading, how it works, how you do it in the classroom, and after 26 days, your kids will have 80% or higher mastery of letters and sounds. In that webinar, we will also be talking about the entire TKS Bootcamp curriculum, so you can see how the entire curriculum works as well. So get registered. That webinar is going to be happening on Thursday. It's a free webinar. It'll be about 45 minutes to an hour. So make plans to join us. Jason will drop the link in the comments for you to register. So make plans to join us Thursday for our ABC Bootcamp webinar so that you can learn all about ABC Bootcamp, how it works, how it's aligned with the Science of Reading, and how you need to bring ABC Bootcamp into your classroom to help your students master letters and sounds, to give them that solid foundation that they need to be great readers and writers. So get registered for the webinar. It's free. It's an hour. Come join us. And we'll also have a very special offer for you as part of the webinar, so you don't want to miss that on Thursday. So get registered. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. Now, take it easy at Target and Walmart. Don't everybody rush at once. Go grab your Trapper Keepers. Check out our website and our store for more resources, forms, documents, templates for your teacher binder. And again, thank you for joining us. I hope you have a great evening and a great rest of the week, and we will see you all again soon. Bye, everybody.